Good afternoon and good evening, sports fans. Welcome to the Midwest Motorsports Stock Car Series. This is round two in the fall-winter season here, as the Midwest Motorsports gang gather around Rockingham Speedway for 200 laps of fun. And on the grid, we have Michael Samia taking the pole position here with Ant Castor on his outside in the number 8. Jason Huffman in the number 4, James Levison in the number 90 in 4th, Clarence Prince 5th, Robert Levison in 6th, Aaron Holroyd in 7th place, and Norm Snyder rounds out our small elite car field tonight. Those of you just tuning in to watch here today and didn't catch Friday's broadcast, my name is Michael Harris. I drive the number 40 Toyota Tundra in our truck series. Stepping in for James Johnson, number 7 time from the 7 time studio. Pace car is off as we get ready to roll here. Just waiting that green flag, and there we go. Thundering off here on the front straightaway. Michael Samia leading the pack. Jason Huffman getting into a battle here for second place early on the inside with Ant Castor on the outside here. Jason Huffman driving the John Deere machine. He's getting around here, Ant Castor. Clarence Prince in the Monster Energy's number 83. Pulling on into 4th place with Aaron Holroyd and James Levison there on the outside in that number 90 machine. They're running side by side as we go on back towards the back of the field. There we go. Norm Snyder in the Haviland Ford machine and Robert Levison in the number 22. Back to the front now. As we watch Michael Samia, he's pulling away here about 0.5 of a second, so a half a second ahead of Clarence Prince here. Getting ready to do a lap 4. So, as I mentioned earlier before the green flag dropped, James Johnson is out there, my friend. He's trying to heal up. We'll miss you, buddy, and we hope to have you back here pretty soon. Come commentate with us. Friday night, it was Trevor McLaughlin broadcasting for the Truck Series. It was a lot of fun Friday night. Caution-free race, Clarence Prince up to 3rd place here. Doing pretty well with the Monster Energy sponsor. Well, anyway, folks, we're on lap 5 here, now lap 6. Michael Samia leading the way. Shuffle on back now as we get a little bit more spread between the pack here as Michael Samia is putting a pace down, 24.695, his best. Still shooting the 24.84s right now as the rest of the pack is now into the 25-second lineup. Excuse me, he's just broken away to a 1.22 second gap between himself and Jason Huffman as Clarence Prince is hanging around there about 0.7 of a second behind Jason Huffman. Aaron Holroyd closing on in here. This is one of our closest battles for 3rd place as Holroyd is about 0.6 of a second behind. In 6th place, Ant Castor is chasing after James Levison for that 5th place spot. And he is they are currently the closest crew here. We're going to wind on down from beginning to back of the field in a little while. The field's kind of broken on out here. We're going to go ahead and hop on in. Once I get in there. That's not the camera angle. You'll also have to excuse me here as I'm trying to figure all these controls out, just like Trevor McLaughlin. Sometimes the cameras want to agree with you, as some of you may know from past broadcasts, and sometimes they just don't want nothing to do. There we go, there's the cockpit angle. So we'll ride around, take a lap here with Clarence Prince and the number 83 machine. Several seasons ago, he was driving strictly Monster Energy, or not Monster Energy, Red Bull. And Norm Snyder has now passed by Robert Olevison. So we'll follow along with Robert here, currently in 8th place. One of the things the drivers had noted about the track is it's a little bit bumpy. So these Xfinity cars that they're driving for the Stock Car Series are going to be a little bit wild in some places there, like turn 4. Norm Snyder having a bad exit out of turn 4. Speaking of, a little bumping, banging there. No love lost between these two. Well, maybe not the right words to say, but they certainly known driving around each other here and there. As we've got Aaron Holroyd and Clarence Prince battling out. Let's switch back to TV screen to show you the side-by-side action here as Manscaped Machine now takes away on Thunder Alley the 3rd spot. Clarence Prince going on the low side here into turns 3 and 4 is not going to pick up enough on the exit. Aaron Holroyd will steal the day here for 3rd place. So he's starting to close. The gap now to the leader of Michael Samia is 2.56 seconds. Now, this is still early on in the race, obviously. We're in lap 14, getting ready for lap 15. And we've got different strategies going on with different guys. The pit window is generally going to open around lap 40, lap 41, and probably close up around lap 43, depending on how the drivers took the course here, took the drive. We've got guys that usually kind of hold off a little bit and then start making a charge later on. Jason Huffman's usually a guy that's kind of always up towards the front. Same with Aaron Holroyd. So don't be surprised when they start making a big push towards the front. Michael Samia going to take the outside here as he comes out from turns 3 and 4. So they're going to work some different lines. See what kind of things they can get away with, especially with Michael Samia having such a big lead here early. He doesn't have to push too hard. So any gain that Jason's getting here is not entirely going to be helping him out. Might not help him out later. Michael Samia touching the wall there. He's getting some time back, though, as it went from 2.5 just a lap ago to 2.2. James Olevison and Robert Olevison are both catching up to their next driver here on the totem pole. We're going to jump on in with James here. It is Halloween, so scary camera angle is activated there. And now we're on to something nice. As we follow along with James as he catches up to Ant Castor here, who's been going on the high side. Now they're about 1.3 seconds away. Pull up the battle. That is not the box they wanted to pull up here, but you can see kind of the battle going on for all the drivers. That'll also show you kind of how far away from each other they generally are, or the gap between the leader and the back of the field. Michael Samia is now about 8 seconds back from at least James Olevison. Closing in on passing Robert Olevison now. See, he's about 11 seconds from lapping the back of the field. "21 laps down here. Ant Castor is starting to pick up some speed here as he's now catching down Clarence Prince. It's possible that Clarence was using up a little bit more at the beginning of his run. This field is getting pretty spread out here. So the likelihood of green flag pit stops is growing the further these guys get away from each other here. Now we're at the point where we can kind of just carry on through. Clarence Prince is going to tap that wall there. Ant Cash is going to continue to gain on him. We follow along. Battle for fourth place heating up. Antcaster is going to get a good run going. And it looks like he's cutting the clutch into the corners, doing some fuel saving. He'll make it past Clarence Prince for fourth place. Now he's going to ride the high line there from 1 to 2. Always the corner I always had trouble here in Rockingham, North Carolina. As we love to bring up here on Midwest Motorsports Broadcast, we like to talk about the racetracks that these guys are racing on here and the history behind each particular racetrack. Rockingham Motor Speedway was built back in 1965. First opened 59 years ago today. Well, not today, almost today. October 27th, which is my stepfather's birthday. Happy birthday to you, man. He's celebrating up in heaven again. But 59 years ago, this racetrack opened. And it was opened, I'm pretty sure, for Penske bought it at some point, if I remember right. But it was built by Harold Brasington and W.R. Bill Land on 175 plot of land near the intersection of Route 1 and North Carolina Highway 177. It was originally going to be a 1 mile paved oval, half-mile dirt oval, and a half-mile drag strip back in the day. If anybody happens to remember or recognize any names, you would recognize the Harold Brasington, who was the founder of Darlington Raceway. It's currently the Xfinity and Truck Series race here. They race the first time in many years this past season, and they are scheduled to race again next year at this track. No Cup Series start, if I remember right, but the track is currently up for sale. So if you want to be a big benefactor for Midwest, if you know anybody with some money and wants to keep the sport running there in North Carolina, it'd be best to go ahead. Oh, I don't want to hear myself. Best to scoop up this property. Wrong screen there, sir. You think with 3 screens I'd be able to keep track on everything, but speaking of everything, Michael Samia has pretty much lost most of his lead here. Jason Huffman's now challenging into turn 3 and 4. I'm guessing Samia is probably doing some fuel saving, some figuring out there. By the way, we're not super close to the window, but it is coming closer. Jason Huffman's been saving here, and he has finally caught up and putting that deer to action as that John Deere machine is charging close to the number 79 Chevrolet. Jason Huffman driving the Ford Mustang, Xfinity Mustang there. He's got the nose underneath the quarter panel going into turn 1 and 2. Michael Samia has been doing pretty well on that outside line. He's been running it for a bit of time, probably about 3rd lane there. Still holding on down Thunder Alley. He'll be able to maintain his speed and lead. And here we go again. On the outside here is turn 3 and 4. We're going to be a little bit closer here coming to the stripe. It's still Michael Samia, who has currently led all 32 laps that we've run so far. Jason Huffman going to challenge here as we get closer and closer to that pit window. Like I said earlier, as the pass is currently being made here, going into turn 3 and 4. 3 and 4 has favored Jason Huffman a lot better on that inside line. He's got his nose, got a whole car ahead of Michael Samia, who's going to move to the inside here. And that'll be the first lap anybody else but Michael Samia has led today. Jason Huffman all the way on the outside, taps the wall. Still has enough going for him here as he cuts the corner, and off to the races he goes, taking that lead. Now he's going to run that high line, take that away from Samia. Samia is going to keep running that little low line there into the corner. And that was your pass for the lead as Huffman is now sailing off into the distance. Now going back into the pack, we got a three-way battle here for 6th place between Norm Snyder, James Leveson, and Robert Leveson. Well, okay. Scratch that. Robert Leveson is unfortunately 2 laps down, but he's still hunting around, still driving, still showing that he can compete with these guys. The Ford Brigade here. Number 90. Actually, no. 90 is a Chevrolet. Norm and Robert are driving Fords. Ant Castor is now caught up to Aaron Holroyd here. That is currently the closest battle on the track. So we'll zoom right in here as the number 8 is going to go ahead and challenge the number 9. In the Budweiser machine. The iconic number 8 is not the same 8 on his car. That looks like the Kyle Busch number 8. But he'll go ahead and take away P4. Actually, no, that's 3rd place now. We've had some swaps here. Now, Ant Castor's got a long way to go to catch back up to Michael Samia. He is 3.8 seconds behind the number 78 Chevrolet. And now Aaron Holroyd has fallen to a whole second behind. These gaps are pretty big, just so you know. Robert Oleveson is now a whole lap behind the rest of the field. We got James Leveson fighting for his life, and Norm Snyder is as well for their lead lap positions here. As Jason Huffman's closing in on the back of the field. Now he's just turning into turns 1 and 2. Let's go back to James here. He is on Thunder Alley on the back straightaway. And there's Jason. So Jason, who's led 6 laps now, coming to lap 40 this time by, has caught up with the back end of our field before the first pit cycle. The guys have pretty much kept it all clean here. Some guys have been saving on their tires, making charge late here. Other guys have been driving a steady pace, so they'll be able to maintain throughout their whole run. And some guys went hard early and are starting to feel the burn here. Now as Jason catches up to James, we are on lap 41. Like I said, pit window is opening up here. We've got our first taker down pit lane. Let's send it on down there and see if I can catch anybody. That is Aaron Holroyd, followed by Clarence Prince. Those two coming on in here. 35-mile-an-hour pit lane entry, if I remember right. Now Jason Huffman's going to come on in. Michael Samia is going to take the lead back, stay on out. Switch the camera back to him. We got 3 guys in the pit lane. Aaron Holroyd already in his pit stall, ready to go. And he's been in there for a period of time. Around 20 seconds here. He's got some damage. He's going to repair some of that damage. I don't know what kind of damage it was. Clarence Prince in and out in 11 seconds. Out for Jason Huffman, so they've been saving some tires. Jason Huffman taking a gamble here. 8.78 second stop. It's probably put right sides on that car. Michael Samia going to come on in. 35 laps led for him. Ant Castor currently out. He's going to go ahead and take the lead here. He's been clutching it. So like I said, about lap 45 could be the outer window here. He's going to get that bonus point for leading the lap. I don't know how many more laps he's got, but he's been clutching for several laps now. You may even get to hear from him a little bit later on as we'll bring some attention to the booth here. He's going to try another lap. Lap 45 in as he's gone around the field. Samia, Norm Snyder, Jason Huffman, James Lavison. Oh, I read Norm. Didn't mean to read Norm right now. He's driving out on the track right now. Samia, Lavison coming out of the pits. Jason Huffman and Clarence Prince are currently still in the pits. Not sure what happened to Jason Huffman, our race leader here. Let's see if we can go to a different camera and see what might have happened to our leader here. Don't worry, we're not really missing much on the track here. Ant Caster is just lapping and lapping and lapping. He's coming on in. We're a bit with Jason Huffman right now for the moment. He took a 44.75 second stop. He's in his pit, so he must have been speeding on pit lane. I'm sure that race control will probably let me know what happened, or we'll figure that out. But we're going to jump back to live here. Lap 47 here. Antcaster still leading this race. Michael Samia is currently one lap behind him. This will be very interesting here to see what happened with this True Music Chevrolet. See how well this pit strategy pans out for him. Aaron Holroyd is going to be battling with James Lavison further back in the field here. We go along here. Number 9 Chevrolet. He's just going to let James Lavison go a little bit here. He's going to save what he's got. Save it for later. Norm Schneider currently is in third place right now after the pit cycle window. Almost the whole track length separates him from Michael Samia. Michael Samia has just pretty much got the whole field about a lap down, except for the guy who he's chasing after right now. Ant Caster, when will he come in? Oh man, if I told you anything about his connections to the league, you'd think they've been giving him extra fuel. But no, he's been clutching, as you can kind of hear through this broadcast. With each passing lap, I'm pretty sure he's been clutching for the past 20 or so laps. It sounds like he's coming in. We're watching in real time. He's coming on in. Remember that pit lane speed, I think, is 35 here. Or 25. It's very slow. So he's on into the pits. Michael Samia is just going by him here, and Norm Schneider's going to join him as well back on the lead lap. On the inside of Michael Samia, we have Clarence Prince, who's just hoping to get a lap back here. Samia is not going to really fight him too much on that. He's just going to stay on the outside. Oh, a little touch right there. Antcaster still in the pits, so Michael Samia will go ahead and take the lead right now. Antcaster's out. Norm Snyder's on the lead lap. James Lavison is the first car, one lap down. So exciting bit of little action there from pit road. Green flag pit stops. They'll be happening, in about another 43 laps or so, unless you're Ant Caster, then it might be another 50 lap. We'll see how that strategy pans on out, because Ant is second place, 9 seconds back, and he's on the same lap. And Norm Snyder under the apron there, coming off of turn 4, is now lapped. So there's only 2 cars on the lead lap at this point. 32,000 people are estimated to be able to fit in the grandstands here at Rockingham Speedway. It's currently owned by the Rockingham Properties LLC. So if you're interested in buying, currently, depending on how you want to measure this is just under 1 mile. So if the league rule was staying the same here, which I'm pretty sure it is, if they were to have 10 cautions, then we'd be finishing up this race. I really don't think we're going to get anywhere near any of those cautions, unless, of course, somebody drops oil on this track. It has seemed slick for some drivers here. Those bumps are messing with the cars considerably. So far, everyone's been able to keep it clean. Can't really count anybody out just yet. I know it kind of looks like this is just the Michael Samia show. Unfortunately, we don't have anything too close right now for racing, but there will be some catching up here. Norm Snyder's back here with Ant Caster following behind him. Ant, of course, is in second place. He's slowly losing on Samia, but his strategy seems to be fuel saving, maybe make as little stuff as possible. This is a 200 lap event. He was able to make it 51 laps before having to come on in for fuel and tires. So he's playing that strategy of getting tires every time. Everybody else is going when they need to, maybe taking two, maybe not taking any at all, and trying to make those tires last as long as they can. Robert Olevison came in earlier in the race on lap 23, so he'll be coming in around 63 to, well, sorry, 66 to lap 68, depending on his fuel saving. Like I said, we've got some action going to be happening here pretty soon, and Aaron Holroyd, speaking of action, is in the middle of it as we turn right to him here. Clarence Prince taps the rear end of Robert Olevison. No big harm, no big foul there for cars getting into big scrapes, but Aaron Holroyd has made his pass over Olevison there. I'm not sure what happened, but he is going to go ahead and let Clarence Prince go. Let's go back to that number 22 machine. He's got some rear end damage on his vehicle. His car's going a little slow through those corners, probably to keep the stability there. That is not helping him keep above the apron, and that's going to cause you some trouble as you go through the race here. Aaron Holroyd is slowly closing on to Norm Snyder, was slowly closing on to him. He is headed on into pit road. And so isn't Robert Olevison. Different pit strategies here going on, seeing how they'll affect things. Now, we already talked about how Robert was going to probably come in around now because he came in on lap 23. We'll see what that does to the overall standings as we get towards the end of the race. These kind of stops here where you're trying different strategies to see what you can do, they have a big impact. They have a big impact on your performance here. I know from firsthand experience, I've lost quite a bit of time doing different pit strategies here, and sometimes coming in early can make or break a race, especially when the leader is following a different strategy than the one you're on. So Michael Samia is still driving around here with an 11.3 second lead over Ant Caster. Let's see what's going on with Ant here. He's able to close on, or at least keep a somewhat steady pace behind his opponent. He's back to clutching again. Currently, I believe he has led the second most laps of the event. Yep, 9 laps to Jason Huffman's 8. Michael Samia has led every other lap besides that. We're going to go up to Norm Snyder, who's currently in 4th place, 9 seconds or so behind James Lavison, who's having a pretty good run. He's currently in 3rd place. Norm Snyder getting passed there by Michael Samia, just barely getting by on the outside. Michael Samia from Chatsworth, Georgia. One of the Georgia boys, currently in the league. Represent you, James J. You're listening out there. For all the rest of you watching here tonight, just watching the Michael Samia show, he is cruising. He is dominating here. I overheard earlier from some people up there in the booth doing the backstage work here that he's getting really comfortable with this car. Probably finds a little bit more comfortable than the Cup Series car. Not everyone's cup of tea. So if you got anybody you've been wanting to keep an eye on during the race here, besides any of the close action going on in the field, and whoop, here we go. I'm about missing it again. Aaron Holroyd going around Robert Davison. This is 6th place for him. Garden Grove, California. Big Chase Elliott fan, obviously into Manscaped. Get some close shaves here or there. And that was about the closest position battle. Now Ant Gaster's down to 10.63 seconds behind Michael Samia. As we jump on in with him, he's behind former race leader Jason Huffman. Robert Davison finds himself in the pit lane again. So he's come on down. Must have some damage he's got to repair. So far, half the field has only come in the 1 pit stop. The other half of the field has not. We are currently looking at needing another pit stop for the leaders. Anybody that came during the big cycle. Lap 74, we're closing in on it anyway. Lap 76, I feel like, will be the deciding factor for most. Ant Caster is going to be taking the lead here within the next couple laps. We'll see how many laps he puts Michael Samia down on, see what he can do. Remember, Ant Caster put in a full pit stop. So actually did Michael Samia. They both took 4 tires during the last pit stop. And Ant Caster is only 10 seconds behind his competitor, but also has 8 lap fresher tires. Of course, this is going to mean fresher tires at the end of the race also. Now, this will all depend on how the pit cycles play out, on whether Ant Caster's strategy is going to really work for him or not. It is a pretty big gap. It is getting closed down now, but we're towards the end of the cycle. And we'll see how long Michael Samia can keep staying out. That's the other big thing. If Michael Samia can stay out longer this time than he did last time and start pushing into Ant Caster's advantage, that's going to probably seal this up for him. Again, we don't know. As James loves to say, don't take the hats to victory lane just yet. We still haven't reached the halfway. Anything could still happen. Commentator's curse is always active, whether it's me in the booth, or James, or Trevor, or or Adam. Speaking of all four of us here in the broadcast booth, um, let's talk a little bit about the Midwest Motorsports series as a whole. Tuesday night action, if you are ever interested in checking out any other series besides the Stock Car series, to listen to some other wonderful voices, better voices. Let's be real. Adam's pretty awesome. Adam Sondag, you find him Tuesday nights, paired with James J. during the Road Series race. Currently, they are towards the end of their Season 10 schedule with the following tracks left. Misano World Circuit, which they'll do this Tuesday night at 7:30. Silverstone Circuit on November 4th, and then November 11th at Autodrome Nacional Monza. All at 7:30 Eastern for their last three races of Season 10. Season 10 where they've been racing the BMW M2s and the Radical SR10s. It's been an interesting series, an interesting development for sure. I've had a couple races myself in the BMW M2. Haven't been as active in that series as I was hoping to be. Aaron Holroyd cashing up to Jason Huffman here as we continue to talk about our other series, as we get ready for the pit window cycle to really start opening up. Seems like everybody's kind of been able to start clutching, figuring out what Antcaster might have pulled there to get his 51 laps, see if they can do it themselves. And there he goes, Aaron Holroyd passing by Jason Huffman for third place. Oh, no, sorry, not third place, fifth place. James Olafison is in third place. This is our closest battle on stage here. We have now gone further than I thought these guys would go on tank of gas. Them being so spread out, they can just run their own race here. They can do their clutching, do whatever they need to do to make these fuel windows bigger. So that's Tuesday night's action. Now, Monday nights, we also have the cooldown lap, usually brought to you by Antcaster, which we'll have on a little bit later on in the broadcast. And they usually go over what's happening in the racing league, what's happening in the real world. Definitely tune in and watch. There's always a incredible cast of characters that comes on in, whether it's other drivers like myself, other broadcasters like Trevor McLaughlin, or any other people in the league. They'll talk to them, figure out what's been going on in the real world, and talk about what's coming up next. Anything else exciting going on? Speaking of other exciting stuff, we talked about it a couple times. As you know, driver of the Truck Series, we have the Midwest Truck Series, which has just started its Season 10, along with the Stock Car Series for our Oval League. Next week, we're going to be off for Halloween, as is this Stock Car Series, so there will be no racing next week, but there will be racing the following week. They'll be at Kansas Speedway in the Truck Series on November 7th. That'll be right here on YouTube on Midwest Motorsports at 9:55 start time. And with that said, Michael Samia is now into the pit, which means that Antcaster will be taking the lead here momentarily. There he goes. Sorry we're missing out on that action. There goes Ant. Michael Samia's led 71 laps as it shows on the screen here. He's coming on in. Clarence Prince coming on out. We also have James Lavison and Norm Schneider coming on in. The pit, we'll see how long. I would imagine a full four for Michael Samia here. 4 and fuel. Antcaster going right over him with 1 lap. Is 1 lap all he can get? Michael Samia is back out, back past the blue safety line, safety cone on the Thunder Alley. Ant Caster is just getting ready to go by the start-finish line as he'll get his 11th lap led today. And if that's not enough, we as far as the Truck Series, getting back to that goes, we have Trevor McLaughlin in the studio broadcasting to you with James J. Won 7 times, able to come back and join us. They're always a fun crew. Obviously, Trevor Max driven in the Cup Series and in the Truck Series in his past time with the league. He's excited to be in the broadcast booth and talk up all our drivers and give you guys all a good show. Not just on the track, but up here in the booth. And obviously, on Sunday nights, you can find us here in the 7-time studio. Jason Huffman is in the pit here. And we obviously start around, what was that, 8:25, 8:30? And then we start the races here. Now, just so you guys are aware, here on the oval side, once again, the Stock Car Series have just started up. This is round 2. Next week, we will not have any races scheduled. Be an off week again for the Halloween kind of season, just everything else going on. November 2nd. You'll join us here on November 9th at 8:25, 8:30-ish for green flag action at Pocono Raceway. 80 laps out there. Excuse me, sorry for that, folks. Talking is apparently crowded up here. So Aaron Holroyd came in lap 61, going back to our pit lap strategy. Ooh, somebody put it up. Awesome. The powers that be want me to let you know Ant Caster attached to the wall again. No, you are always welcome to sign up for MidwestMotorsports.com. You can find us there on the website, currently on your screen right now, Midwest-Motorsports.com. That's the little dash by the 0 and the equal sign as Michael Samia gets his lap back from Ant Caster. You can join there at any point in time, no matter when we are in the season. You're obviously welcome to join us next week, even though the Oval Series is not racing next week, to join us for the week after at Pocono in Kansas. Sign-ups are always free, always open. You're always welcome to join. Please follow along with the rules and everything else that's listed on the website to join. And in the session here, Josh is a wonderful race control expert, and he's been doing a wonderful, fantastic job. And everybody that's in the league has been very helpful, always willing to help. But whether it's fixing your computers, whether it's stuff to do on the track to get better, because they want to be racing people that are doing as best they can all the time. And we're all generally clean racing league, as you can currently see. I know there's not a lot of guys out here on the track, but even on our roadside, we've got 40-plus drivers out there. It's usually pretty clean. If you're interested in any of those options that we have available, go to that website that was on the screen, sign on up for whatever series you want to be a part of, and come join us. Battle against us. Me and battle against me on Friday nights in the trucks. Make my day. Just don't wreck me. Excuse me again. So I'm not expecting Ant Caster to come on in until about lap 102. Lap 103, I'm not sure exactly when he started clutching, but right now, Michael Samia is charging. He is on a roll, but of course, I say charging. He just put down a 25.51. Not necessarily charging when the rest of the field is dropping 26-second laps. Okay, Michael Samia, put down a 25.083. You do you. You do what you need to do, bud. But he's out there driving this car, catching on up to Ant Caster, who touches the wall again. That's not going to be helpful for him, especially if that starts to impact the way his car is driving. We'll talk to him after this pit cycle here and see what's going on in that mind of his and how that car is handling after a couple of scraps up against the wall. You see, for some reason we have it in kilometers per hour. Now, I'm illiterate when it comes to non-freedom units. I'm sorry for my overseas friends that are watching in today that are disgusted by my disinterest in kilometers per hour because it seems silly that drivers are driving at 258 kilometers per hour at Rockingham Speedway. But that is what's going on here. Our fastest time, fastest lap, was a 264 kilometer per hour. I'm sorry, 265 kilometer per hour lap set by Michael Sumia earlier on in the race today, where he dropped a 24.695. The next fastest speed was a 24.757 dropped by Clarence Prince, and follow that up by our former leader Jason Huffman at a 25.782. So currently Michael Sumia has the fastest lap bonus point. That is awarded to the fastest lap time at the end of the race for the leader. I don't remember. I think we do give a bonus point for most laps lit and a bonus point for leading a lap. So we've got 3 guys that are going to get a bonus point today. There used to be a rule about incident points. Now, I don't believe anybody really has many, if any, incident points. Antcaster coming on in here on lap 104. He just dropped 53 laps there, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. So he gets down to the slow pit lane speed. We're going to see Michael Sumia catching on up here as he's got Jason Huffman in his crosshairs. He's going to get the lead now. 71 laps to his name, to his credit. Left rear suspension is not the one I was going to click. That was going to be cockpit. As we see him chasing on over. I want right front suspension, sir. See him off there in the distance. Ancaster in for, looks like, another set of 4 Goodyear Eagles. Some fuel, lap 104. Aaron Holroyd now coming in. Only 40-something laps for him. He pit lap 61. He was currently in 3rd place. Norm Snyder behind him, slowly gaining here as he was about a lap behind Aaron Holroyd. He's going to take back 3rd place. Jason Huffman's kind of slowly crawling back up the field as he's now in 5th place. And he is now about on the same lap as Aaron Holroyd, who's just coming out of the pit box. Now they're down to about 5 seconds, 4.5, 4 seconds, 3, 2. Let's get back over there, shall we? Got him in the crosshairs. Jason Huffman is 9/10 of a second. Getting a little loose there coming out of the corner. From 4th place, Aaron Holroyd. Early on, he had to pit, had some issues, got a couple laps down. Yes, he's several laps behind the leader, but he's making some ground. He could still make a podium, make some noise here as he's going around. And Michael Sumia is on his rear. There goes Sumia on the inside. Aaron Holroyd on the outside there on turn 2. Jason Huffman tapping Thunder Alley a little bit. He's going to go stay a little high. He's going to take that high line though. Oh, he's going to tap right out of turn 4. Interesting thing about the design of this racetrack. Now, normally you'd think, if you look at the map of Rockingham and how it played out, if you remember the Thunder games, turn 2 was the worst turn. Now, Jason just showing us there, right there off at Thunder Alley. That corner is tight. Turn 1 makes you think it's going to be a wide sweeping corner like some other racetracks. And then turn 2 just comes with a bite. It's kind of like the Darlington turn 2. It's just there. It's ready. It is ready to eat some car, and it does it quite a bit. Turn 3 and 4 are that wide sweeping corner that sets you up for turn 2 failure. It's just how it is. Turn 4 sometimes can be pretty tricky too because of how the track kind of the bumps are and everything. If you touch the apron just the wrong time, you hit the throttle just the wrong time, you're spinning on the infield. Michael Samia is just trying to figure out how to get around Jason Huffman right now. Yeah, I know you're in 4th place. I know that, Clarence Prince shows up right there. Let's change this angle here to TV2 as we follow these two around the track. Green cars, by the way. Usually considered bad luck by the NASCAR faithful. Tell that to a champion who won in a green vehicle. Bobby Labonte as the 2000 NASCAR Winston Cup champion. Jason Huffman all the way on the high line here. Taps the wall at the corner. Ant Caster, hello. He is now behind. And he's getting ready to go around Jason Huffman here. He's led 26 laps today to Michael Samia's all the laps. I'm just kidding, he's not led all the laps, ladies and gentlemen. 81 of our 115 laps. 114 laps completed. Ant Caster, by the way, well, he has... Whoa, Michael Samia and Ant Caster. We have our first caution of the day, folks. Caution flag is out. The leaders have gone crazy. I didn't think we were going to have any of this today. Remember that commentator's curse I was just talking about? Let's pick the right camera, shall we? So here's Michael Samia. Ant Caster, and Michael Samia is coming on down the racetrack, and we got ourselves a bump. That sends the leader spinning out here. Let's go to Ant Caster. Let's go back to that speed here. We can go a little bit faster. Yeah, no, Ant Caster holds his line. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe we need to go back a little bit further for Michael Samia. See if he touched the wall. No, I don't really know exactly what happens here, but he starts coming on down. Ant Caster does come up just a smidge. They do collide here. Samia goes on in. I think the loss of momentum there for Ant Caster sends him spinning. All right, we're going to jump back live. Lights are still on the pace car here, so let's go ahead and bring our man on up.
Or he's going to trap us a lap down.
Hello, Ant Caster. This is Mike Harris up here in the booth. You got me?
Hey, bud, I got you. How's it going?
It's going pretty well up here. Interesting little event happening there. How's number 8 going?
Oh, number 8's going good. Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure what happened there. I have to go back and watch a replay, whether he ended up coming down or I ended up coming up into him. Not entirely sure. I'll have to go back and watch. I apologized ahead of time just in case. Now running great. Fuel mileage in this thing is running better than expected. I think I'm able to get one more stop in and should be able to make it to the end. Getting caught a lap down here, though, doesn't help things.
No, that doesn't. You wouldn't be able for a wave around or lucky dog here because you were part of the caution, right?
Yeah, since Mike didn't pit in, everybody that's lap down stayed a lap down. There's no wave around, so.
All right. Did anybody get the lucky dog that I missed? Because I would think Jason would get it because Norm's in the pits.
Norm Snyder ended up getting it.
Oh, he did. All right.
Yep.
So you guys are on the same lap here. Any other tidbits here that you've been getting from tonight's race?
Oh, it's tires. Man, I tell you what, these things are getting ate up out here. So
I believe it, but you've been able to make it work with your 53 laps and 51 laps there. I'll let you get back underway here. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Yep. And that was Antcaster as they're getting ready to go back green. Green flag are underway here. Michael Samia on the inside line. Antcaster jumps on ahead on the outside line here. He's going to try to hold that, make that work with that Chevrolet Camaro. I'm not remembering exactly which Chevy they were rolling out there in the Xfinity. I'm pretty sure it's the Camaro. But he's got that. He's got his lap back here. As you just heard him talking, pretty much everybody except Norm Snyder got stuck with whatever lap they were on because, well, Michael Smeo was not going to gamble and change that. Now, interestingly enough, my display has changed to freedom units. So you've been seeing the speedometer on the dashboard since I turned it on. So you can see your freedom units right there on the screen. Fastest speed is Michael Samia right now at 163.3 as it finally did update for that. Like I said, we have some amazing people in the background doing some wonderful things, making some changes, making some updates. Maybe it was just a setting update that had to have been done. Had been tried to do and just hadn't updated yet. But at any rate, Antcaster is currently 24 seconds behind the leader. Aaron Holroyd now joins him as Michael Samia lets him go by. Aaron Holroyd now 3 laps down instead of 4. Clarence Prince looking for that too. Just bear in mind, we are on lap 124 of the race here, and at this point, Michael Samia has been driving for 35 laps on his current tires. So that's playing a part into this too. He's going to continue to try to push that fuel mileage there as the tires continue to wear, and these guys have been making it look pretty simple out there for driving. I'm sure there's probably somebody out there in the audience that thinks that they could just smoke this league and everything else. But this track is pretty tough, especially when your tires are as worn as Smia's are. And in fact, he hasn't really smacked the wall that much. That was really the only incident that happened, and it was in part just awareness going on. Whether he meant to have it go down, whether something happened on his end where he was just kind of looking one way and just naturally dragged. I don't know. Antcaster, again, it looked like he kind of came up just a smidge. So I'm going to really top that as kind of more a racing incident. There was definitely factors that played in. You could put the fault on 79. I wouldn't blame you on that, but never really intentional in this league. I don't think I've seen anybody intentionally take anyone out, but Michael Smee is currently intentionally taking himself out to put himself in pits. So he can get some fuel and tires here on lap 127. So we only had 4 sets of tires at the beginning of this race. Michael Samia has put on tires every stop he's made now. This is his 3rd stop. He's got, 128. So at 128 out of 200, he does technically have 2 stops left to go in the race. I'd say his magic number to make it to at this point would be lap 160 or so. However, if Antcaster, who's currently in the lead now, can maintain that lead, maintain that gap, and continue to push, maybe another caution comes out and puts another monkey wrench in the plans. And there is a good chance that Michael Samia may not win this race. but it all depends on where Caster can come back out. Now, I'm sure this is probably because of the caution. It did bunch the field back up, so right now Samia is 14.7 seconds back. So it's not a whole entire lap back like he was. He's now on 23 lap fresher tires. So he can certainly burn that gap down if he wants. He's kind of in the driver's seat now. Ant's going to go in at about lap one, probably 150. He could probably make it to lap 160 if he really pushes that clutch. I have no doubt that he can do this one stop and be around where Michael Samia is going to be. Michael Samia is going to have only one set of tires left for these 80 laps. Doable, but they're going to be pretty well worn down. And Ant Caster still has two sets. It'll be really interesting to see what pans out here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go through the field now. Because why not? I say so. Oh, we got our leader right here, Michael Samia. I haven't had a good look at this car. I've been trying to think about ways to get good looks at this car. But I tell you, it's awfully hard to follow, to see the whole scheme in the nice glory. If only I had control of the better control of the camera, I think. But he's driving S&S here. I'm not entirely sure whether, because it looks like on the side it could be pretty spooky. No, you're not going to see it from that. And you're not going to see that from that either. We would have seen it better from Norm Snyder's view if I known Norm was going to be right there. That would have been great. But regardless, we got that number 79. Looks there's elements that could look like spooky season. There's a little white character figure right there on the rear quarter panel that I'm not thinking it's a ghost, but let's pretend it's a ghost because it's spooky season. Jason Huffman's now in the pits right now. Hasn't been too much in the mix since the beginning of the race due to that issue there. I think he was caught speeding. Do you really want to see that? How do I take that off? There we go. So that's Michael Samia, who is currently in second place. We're going to do something weird and jump back to first place here, because why not? Ant Caster and his Budweiser machine. If I remember right, this Budweiser scheme was not actually raced, is a collectible item. Jason Huffman back out on the speedway here in front of Robert Olevison. Ant Caster, stop loving the wall so much. Ooh. There's some stuff going on in the front of that car there, but everybody's got that one faster pair left. Let me get to this to see the true music. All right, so I can do that little look up here. It was a 2004 release with the Dave Matthews Band. I don't remember if he actually raced it. Oh, it was raced at Richmond Raceway in 2003. A little bit different design than this one. It's kind of more of an all-black scheme instead of the red scheme at the front. But this is a nice pairing of that red and black scheme. By Ant Caster here. Dale Jr. fan for sure. You hate to see it. Yep, you do. Thanks for tuning in, Governor Man. Governing the man, I see. Michael Samia now about 15 seconds back. Ant Caster is continuing to try to push that car and push it far. He made it 53 laps on his last pit cycle. Norm Snyder doing the same kind of thing here. He pit on lap 116, so he has 8 laps. Nope, that's bad math. 12 laps over Antcaster as far as that goes. We're getting closer to everybody's magic number, though, so we're probably seeing our last pit cycle of the day coming up here, folks. Lap 142, Jason Huffman flying by Norm Snyder. Norm Snyder is in third place. If we're going to give out the Hard Charger Award tonight, right now, he's in the catbird seat. He's gone up 5 positions. Aaron Holroyd would need to pass Samia or Caster at the end of the race in order to steal that away, or Norm Snyder needs to finish a little first. But that'd be cool to talk to Norm. At any rate, he is in third place with the Haviland machine, usually attributed to Davey Allison, the man that he grew up idolizing. Well, I don't know about grew up idolizing, but definitely loved. We've got a race recap showing here. Currently 144 laps. 1 caution, 3 laps, 7 lead changes here. Ghosts are afoot in the broadcast studio. James, if that's you, hello. Norm Snyder out here, though, in third place, running well with the Davey Allison scheme. As we see Clarence Prince catching on up to him here. Not a battle for position. Antcaster is going to go and put Norm down another lap, though. Continues to fly on by lap 145. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now down to our last 55 laps of the race. As we go pan on back to the number 9 machine in 4th place, Aaron Holroyd is currently 16 seconds behind Norm Snyder. That will eventually be a battle for 3rd place. Norm currently the highest placed Ford machine as another one goes on by on our screen. Aaron Holroyd driving the number 9 Manscaped Chevrolet. We talked about it. Manscaped is a product he really enjoys. That nice clean shave. Definitely a different paint scheme, gold and black. Gotta love it. And that Xfinity Chevrolet. Soon to be O'Reilly Auto Parts Chevrolet. Spooky. Following him up here in 5th place, another lap down, as he is actually on, I think, about the same lap. The math ain't mathing here on my screen right now on the timing, but he should be about the same lap as Aaron Holroyd now that he's passed by him. He led for 8 laps earlier today. The number 4 John Deere Ford Mustang. Green and yellow scheme on him. He's been driving the... Oh, I don't remember what his brand... I thought he drove Toyota last year. I could have swore he did. Well, whatever the deal, he's in the Ford, and it's John Deere on his hood today. Now, we talked about Clarence Prince and his sponsor changes the past couple seasons, switching from Red Bull to Monster. Number 83 Toyota Camry, still sticking with that scheme. I'm sure he's had enough of the Burger King comments, maybe? I don't know. But he is back here in 6th place. Robert Olavison is in the pits now. We are lap 150, and if you've been doing Antcaster things all race long, this is your magic number. I don't know. Like I said, about 160 or so would probably be your magic number. Even if you can push it to lap 170, which I don't think is going to happen for Antcaster. But we'll see. We're getting close to his pit stop. Clarence Prince here in 6th place with Antcaster breathing down his neck for another lap down. James Olavison, speaking of the Olavisons, was doing pretty well, was up as high as 3rd place today. He's currently sitting in 7th place in that Chevrolet. wish I could tell you what's on his car. Mountain Dew Baja and purple. You wanna ask me what purple flavor is? I am the other nut, I don't do that just yet, you goon. Give him some TV time, some extra love up here. Lap 153, 152 laps in the books. Now 153 laps in the books. Thank you. 47 to go. And those wondering, Michael Sumia has dropped his gap from 19 seconds down to 13 seconds. He was actually a lap down. Well, was he quite a lap down? No, 19 seconds. Almost a lap down. Our closest battle going on here right now, Aaron Holroyd, Norm Snyder, he started catching up here. He's about 6 seconds behind Norm, so we got a little bit of time before that pass happens. Samia now on the back of James Lavison. Boys, can someone else join Team Toyota? Like Dustin, can you come join Team Toyota for this next race? Because poor Clarence Prince is trying to carry us all here. The only Toyota in the field today. Robert Olavison, I'm not biased, leave me alone. Robert Olavison rounds out our field here in the Miller Lite Ford machine. Definitely a different Miller Lite look than we normally get in his truck race when he's joining us out there. Usually running the midnight scheme. His number 22 Ford. Ant Caster is in, ladies and gentlemen, is lap 156. He will have 45 laps to drive to the end of the race. Technically, he does not need to come back in for another pit stop. However, Mr. Sumia over here, who's just lapping over or getting unlapped by Aaron Holroyd, is about to lap Ancaster. Michael Sumia, during his laps pit stop, actually just took right sides only. So, I mean, that saved him some time. That can affect a lot of things here after he pit on lap 127. But Ancaster just put 4 fresh tires on. Yes, he's a lap down. But he's also got almost 30 laps, fresh tires, than Michael's rights. And that means that Michael's left side tires have been on there for about 80, 90 laps at this point. So I think I don't know, maybe they'll be down to 80, 70%. Antcaster is charging, though. He is going to look to get his lap back. Now, if he can get his lap back and set a big enough gap here, there's a good chance that this man who's led 97 laps might not win. Speaking of fast laps there, the last lap, Antcaster just set his best time at 24.883 as he has now unlapped himself. Norm Snyder, Aaron Holroyd, and James Lavison are in the pits right now. They've made it to their magic marker of 160 laps by the leader. Michael Sumia getting ready to get his 100th lap here led. One more to go for that. And he's in his window. Norm Snyder still in the pits. He's 2 laps down, so that's not going to be a big impact. What is going to be impactful, though, besides Aaron Holroyd taking 3rd place away from Norm Snyder, is that Ant Caster does not have to come back in for fuel. Does not have to come back in for tires. Michael Sumia will still get 100 laps led today, so nobody's going to take that from him. Nobody's going to take the most laps led away from him. As Antcaster still hasn't crossed over. There goes Norm Snyder getting another lap on him. And there's Antcaster now taking the lead. Oh, the intrigue that's been going on today between pit strategies is pretty wild here. It'd been cool to have had James up here. I know he'd be excited about this. So, hope you're having fun watching there, buddy. We miss you. But yeah, this is oh, never mind. I was about to say somebody stole the fastest lap time away from Michael, but no, nobody's done that so far. Aaron Holroyd set his best lap just the last lap, 24.78. Not, oh no! Aaron Holroyd has stolen that away from Michael Samia. I know that he's not currently competing for the position for second or first place, but he's at 24.663 for his fastest lap time. He's got the bonus points. So Michael Samia currently has most laps led bonus point. Aaron Holroyd has the fastest lap bonus point. And of course, Antcaster, Michael Samia, Jason Huffman all have the lap led bonus point. Michael Samia just stole the fastest lap. After all this time, he's just been doing whatever. He took his pit stop. He's got 6 laps on Antcaster. He is not happy about having his fast lap time taken. He just set 2 of his fastest laps of the session, a 24 point. Well, I wish I remember what it was, but it's now been replaced by a 24.307. And he's backed off a little bit, 24.460. So other people are now starting to set their fastest lap times of the session here. Michael Samia is on a Disco Inferno here. He's going burn, baby, burn. And that's probably what Antcaster's hoping for, too. 20 seconds separates our leaders from each other. They got involved in an earlier incident. Our only caution of the race so far. And that's really been the only problem anybody's faced. Everyone's had pretty solid pit entries, which is great for Michael Samia because, you know, he unfortunately had not a good pit entry last night or Friday night at Atlanta, old Atlanta. So I think he's been practicing that for this one. That would not have been good to have been doing so well and then have a mess up like that going on. Norm Snyder's in the pits. He's coming on in. So I think Robert Olevison, who's still out there making laps, still doing what he needs to do out there. He's on lap. He pit on lap 140. Folks, 30 laps to go. Time has gone by. We're about halfway through our session's time limit. Here, these guys are almost done. Track temp right now, 89 degrees. The outside temp is 82 degrees down there in Rockingham, North Carolina. Norm Snyder currently in 5th place after just pitting. Of course, he just came in for a little splash and go. I don't know what happened, if maybe his timing or if his pit box was telling him that he needed some extra gas that didn't give him. Crew chief didn't give him enough gas. I don't know. But he did have to come in for a splash. It's really kind of piled up here. Antcaster's only pit 3 times this race. Michael Samia has pit 4 times. Everybody but Robert Olevison has pit 5 times today. So that's been pretty much the tail of the tape here. Michael Samia having the fast car, just driving this car as hard as it can go. He's been the man, just dominating here as far as overall actual on-track performance. Ant Caster has been cool, collected, and been able to do whatever he wants with his pit strategy, able to make the car last long, took the gamble. We only had the one caution here, so it didn't really impact his gamble too much. And he's got a 17-second lead. It is dropping. There's 25 laps to go. So we'll see what happens there, but that's just what's going on here. Two different strategies, and it's beautiful to see. This is racing, folks. I know it's not side by side. I know it's not three wide. I know it's not hectic and cars spinning down Thunder Alley or anything like that. But it's the little things that can make a big difference in your race. 3 pit stops, 200 laps. I was told at the beginning, before we started this stream, that the cars were getting 42 to 43 laps. Everyone's blown that out of the water. Ancaster put a NOS on that and blew it out of the water with his fuel-saving strategy. But that can just dictate how things go. We're pretty close to 20 laps to go here as we continue to follow along with Michael Samia's charge to the front, charge towards the leader. He gets around James Levison. Now he's got Aaron Holroyd, who's third place, to get around here. And then it'll be 15 seconds. Oh, Aaron Holroyd going down tight. He's not going to make this easy on Mike. Not today. I know you're trying to get up there, but I'm driving. Mia still gets by him anyway. 15.6. Ant Caster. Pretty sure right now is on the back stretch. He's getting into turn 3 and 4. He's led 72 laps. 15.3 seconds, 20 to go. The lap times right now still 0.4 of a second in Michael Samia's favor. I don't know if it's going to get even more drastic, because remember, Caster came in at 56, so that is relatively, 44 laps or so. So not as bad, but he's still got to save a little bit based on the numbers I was given in order to make it there. 14.9. Nobody else is really anywhere close to each other. Everyone is about a lap away from the next driver. Aaron Holroyd 2 laps behind Michael Samia now. Jason Huffman is a whole lap behind Aaron Holroyd. Norm Snyder is a whole lap behind Jason Huffman. So this right here on the screen, folks, is our closest battle. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, those of you that are in here that are sim racing, looking for a league to join, and you're just kind of beep-bopping around YouTube, just seeing what everyone has going on for it, that, hey, this Michael Samia guy, I'm faster than him. I could put a 24.2 down at Rockingham. Or maybe you're thinking to yourself, oh man, I could have taken Jason Huffman and been in his car and just blew this competition away. Maybe you think you can keep up with Norm Snyder. It's back on the bottom of your screen, folks. Sign up, Midwest-Motorsports.com, where you can join, as the advertisement has said a few times, the fastest growing iRacing League. Sign up today, folks, if you're interested. We have 3 leagues broadcasted about 3 different disciplines between the stock car series, the Xfinity cars, arguably some of the best of the 2 cars that race from the NASCAR circuit. The truck series that races on Friday nights, where you put me in my place. Please do. In the truck series. Or you can head on over to the road series and join that 40-man party with your host, Adam Sondag. I hope I've been saying his name right the whole time. It is Adam. It is Sondag, right? I know it's him. The name is there. Really great voice. Really great guy. And world-renowned author in there as well on that road series. So check it out. 14 laps to go. Somebody keeps touching Thunder Alley. Ahead of Michael Smia. That's Jason Huffman. Find us on iRacing as well. But go to the website there. It'll tell you all the ingredients you need to bring together to get yourself into this league. Sign-ups are always free, always available. The league is free. We hope to keep it that way. A whole bunch of fun-loving guys that we just want to race, have a good time, keep it clean. You'll never find racing like this in officials. Even if it's a dead series, you will not find anything better. I mean, these guys made the SR10 look fun. And the BMW M2 look like a great time. It is. Once you learn how to drive it. Jason Huffman tapping that wall again there. As they get back down onto Thunder Alley. Michael Smia still chasing after Ant Caster. He has dropped that lead down to 12.2 seconds. Folks, 10 laps to go. He's got to put that boogity back in that Chevrolet machine and make this track his. 10 laps to drop it 12 seconds. Ant Caster's just moving on to the rhythm of the beat right now. There he is, getting into turn 1 and 2. 84 laps led, folks. Native of Canton, Ohio. Champions are made. Oh man, I thought we had a graphic of the vehicle too. Not quite, but that is okay, folks. 11.6 seconds. So he is cutting it down. We're under 11.5 seconds. Ant Caster going across the line. 7 laps to go. Do you think Mike's going to make it? Let me know in the comments here in the chat. Governor Man, I know you're there. Do you think Samia's got it? He's got to do it for him. He's been racing. He raced for his brother during the truck race. It was on his truck there. Put in a mighty good effort in that 79 machine. Dominated most of this race. But it doesn't always matter how long you've been front running. What matters is where you are when that white flag comes out. Just ask Dale. Ant Caster going in. Oh, taps the wall there. That's not going to help keep him up ahead. Cuts turn 2. Down Thunder Alley. 5 to go. As they get on to turn 3 and 4. 11. Make a wish. Sorry, I'm old, guys. Clarence Brent's going to go on the inside here as the duo goes down turns 1 and 2. Ant Caster ain't going to fight that. Who cares if you get a lap back? I don't. I'm trying to win. 11 seconds. Michael Samia finally cuts that lead under 11 seconds. Now he's at 10.7. Now 10.5. Ant Castor going around the outside of Robert Olavison. I also hope I'm pronouncing that name right. There he goes. Georgia boy. Trying to be in the hunt here. 2 to go, folks. Just 2 laps to go. 10 seconds separating these two drivers. James Olavison is starting to fall back just a little bit. Ant Castor has taken the white flag, folks. I don't know if I'm going to tell you what, the cool down lap is going to be pretty on point tomorrow. Because Ant Castor, the host of it, has just taken the victory. 92 laps led, 10 seconds separated him and Michael Samia. In the end, that pit strategy really came down to key. The rest of the field is going to go across the start-finish line here. We'll go ahead and put down everybody's or the results of the race here. Here we go. Ant Castor bringing home the W. Michael Samia in second place. Aaron Holroyd brings it home in third. Jason Huffman will finish fourth place today. Norm Snyder fifth. James Olavison is in sixth. Seventh will be Clarence Prince. Eighth will be Robert Olavison. Your Hard Charger Award winner will go to Aaron Holroyd today, gaining 4 positions. Fastest lap time, Michael Samia. And bear with me here as I start dragging some good old boys up to the booth. See if Michael Samia is available. All right, I'm not seeing him here, but that's okay, folks. I'm sure if he comes on in, we'll go ahead and interview him when he does. In the meantime here, let's bring on up our man in the Manscaped vehicle, Aaron Holroyd. Aaron, how you doing tonight?
Good, Michael. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, doing pretty good. And I know I'm missing James. I'm sure you are too. But what an interesting race here with the pit strategy. Just walk us through how you felt your race went.
Well, I mean, I thought my race was going pretty good in the beginning time. I didn't realize it how hard I'd hit a wall earlier because when I did my first pit stop, I came out and my front right was at like a 42%. I'm like, holy cow, this race is going to be terrible like this. So when I was in the pits, I went ahead and I went out with just fuel only on those 42% tires. Waited for my next stop, and they're only at 8% in it. So I just sat there and waited for the whole optional repair to go by because I didn't know how much damage it actually was. It was like 40 something seconds. So after that, I was able to drive the car like it should have been. And then the strategy came in. I'm like, this car isn't actually bad. The track was very much not what I'm ever used to running. So that was a learning curve for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I was hearing a bit about the bumps there in the corners and how some of the pavement was a little bit iffy there.
I mean, I wouldn't call them bumps. I would call them more like trenches from World War II. But I mean, along those lines, if you think that's pretty bad, those are horrible. I had never turned down my steering wheel as much as I did tonight, just from the sheer lack of arm pump I was getting from driving the thing.
Absolutely. So, like we said about the ease of this car and how they made it look easy and all that, take it from him. This track was like trench warfare out there.
Yes, not easy and not fun in the beginning, but when you got used to it, it got to be a little more fun.
All right, well there he is, Aaron Holroyd. Started the race in 7th place, moved up 4 spots to end his way up in the podium here in 3rd place. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Michael. You have a good night.
You as well. And now we got ourselves our race leader here, Ant Caster, the race winner with the amazing pit strategy here. It pulled off for you. And we talked with you earlier here, Ant, about that pit strategy, and it really came out. When was the point that you kind of felt comfortable that, hey, maybe I got this tonight?
I want to say it was probably like lap, probably 30. Lap 30, I felt really good about my chances because everybody kind of just took off at the start. And I told myself at the beginning, just run your own race, save as much as you can, and see what happens. And by the time everybody, like, I was reeling everybody in and I noticed nobody was really saving as much as I thought they were, I'm like, this could go my way.
So you guys do have the cool down lap coming up tomorrow, right?
We are actually on hiatus for the moment.
Uh,
Quick sidebar on that one. So the whole reason we haven't been going is I've been trying to get my daughter used to sleeping in a toddler bed, and Monday nights have not been going very well with getting her to lay down and stay in bed. So I've been using that podcast time to try and get her to sleep and get her acclimated with a bed.
Yep, that is a challenging thing. All the rest of you dads know. I got one of my kids sleeping right behind this studio here, and he's uh, he's having his own regressions here, and he's 3. But that's boy. Girls seem to be easier with figuring that out. But
Yeah, any tips, send them over.
there you go. Well, when that does get to come back here, we got some dads in the league. Dustin Reinstedel, I heard he's going to be hopefully celebrating soon, as he talked about in the broadcast on Friday. And just anything else you want to say to everybody out there as far as what this win means to you and how many weeks you're going to be talking about it on the podcast?
I mean, it's a great win. It's been, I have to go back a while to actually think about the last win I actually got. So feels good to get it. Mike Scamilla put on a heck of a fight. Shame we got together there after that start finish line and caused that caution, which ended up actually trapping the entire field down. But he put up one heck of a race, and I was kind of watching my relative towards the end of the race, trying to keep that gap manageable while not destroying my stuff in case we had a green white checker. So hats off to Mike Scamilla for running a good race. Shame we couldn't get him up here in the booth. And everybody else, I mean, overall clean race for a really tough track. That was basically like running a belt sander to your tires. Hats off to everybody for as clean a race as we ran. And we got an off week, and then we'll head off to Pocono, I believe, to do it all again.
That's correct. Alrighty, well, thank you for coming to join us here, Ant, and I'll let you move on over. And in the meantime, folks, thank you all for joining and watching. It has been a pleasure here calling the race from the 710 studio. I'm going to keep calling that until he comes and tells me on the Discord that, oh, no, you don't call it that. But anyway, the 710 studio here, James, is great to see you doing well, buddy, and we hope to have you back. In the meantime, like I said earlier in the broadcast, I do want to let you all know next week the Oval Series is off, so do not expect a race on Friday or Sunday this coming week. Please do tune in and watch, though, on Tuesday. Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, if I remember right, the Road Series will be racing one of their 3 final races of the year. I may be there, I may not. But Adam Sondag will be there, and he puts on an amazing show, and you're not going to want to miss it. 7:30 Eastern, Misano World Circuit. They're doing the Grand Prix 2007 track between the M2s and the SR10s. All right, folks, thank you for tuning in and watching. You all have a good one, and for James J., stay in your lane.